this just came up. The topic came up on in our mastermind group last week. Actually, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But when an owner is looking for to bring someone in, is it like, do I have to pay them a ton of money? Do I give them equity? Like, how do we structure that? You guys want to share how that worked or no?
Well, we ended up partnering on, so at all the other businesses we've partnered in with Indy Roof Company. We've partnered as well. We did it in a different way though, because we were such a large organization already that we did it with like a profit sharing agreement, profit rights agreement. So he has rights to all the profits on everything. He just didn't have to technically buy in and pay $1 million in taxes or whatever it would have been to buy the company that way. I don't know. I think it varies from situation to situation, I guess.
Yeah. So I think, looking at the overall picture or the overall question that I think you're trying to ask is like, just holistically, like what should someone consider if you're thinking about bringing in a high level person where, you got to kind of make some bigger commitments than just a salary or a bonus.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's kind of the path we got it down. So yeah, we're in the midst of doing that with one of our businesses, actually, with bringing in another partner into that organization. And so for us, the first thing that we do now is we make culture decisions first and foremost. Like it's got to be the right fit and the right alignment and the right values to be together. That is, and that's just how we hire in general in any of our companies. So we kind of figure we can teach you the components of how to do jobs. And of course, we want people with talent, we want people with intelligence and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, when I boil it all down, like I can't teach you to have good integrity. I can't teach you to be honest, to have good character. Like we have to count on your mom and dad taught you how to those types of things. Yeah. And you either have them or you don't. Yeah. And so we kind of vet those kinds of things out. So that's the first decision. But then once you get into, okay, got this person, they fit in culturally, they've got the level of intelligence or the level of skill that we need to bring in. Like, what are we going to do beyond just a salary and a bonus? And I think you got to take a look and explore different options, right? And so, as Aaron mentioned, when we first started, we kind of got creative with how we did our partnership within IRC, just from a tax perspective for both of us, which worked out really, really well. And then, starting other companies from the ground up, we can do that a little bit differently as well. So, but I do think you've got to take that look in to say, number one, there's got to be an established baseline, and number two, there's got to be some established goals. Like, hey, I'm bringing you in to help me get to here, and here is where your benefit really starts. If you're talking about giving equity, or you're talking about giving some other options, like there's got to be that kind of line to say, all right, we're already on a trajectory to get to this point. I need you to get us past this point, and then that's when the big benefits start happening. Does that answer the question for you?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, the gentleman who asked this question last week in our mastermind was like, hey, I want this COO to come in. I don't have the money to pay her $200,000 or whatever it might be for that level. And so I want to, give her some equity. And so that's, that gets a little complex. I've had an equity. I've sold part of my business back in 2017 and I bought it back a couple years later. So I'm 100% owner. And I know there's just a lot of logistics that go into that. So
let me ask you, if it's a business too that has a plan to do maybe like an M&A or something, they could also have something like a percentage of that sale. Right. If there's a plan in place and it's in the agreement. So that may be something we're like, hey, it also incentivizes them to say, hey, let's build this as best we can, because I don't want, 10% of this. I want 10% of this up here. And so you really bust your ass for 5 years to try to make sure that you maximize that. Because at that point in time, every dollar is, $6 to $10 when you bring in that multiplier on the EBITDA. So,
and I think the last thing that I would say on that question, Joe, is you have to remember that you're in sales no matter what. And so you got to make sure that you've got somebody that you can pitch your vision to, because it's, for a lot of people, not just dollars and cents. If it were me and it was just dollars and cents, I wouldn't have left the company that bought the security business that I was in, because honestly, I could be working a quarter of the hours that I work today and making more than I would have when I first started here, right? And so it wasn't a mathematical play. It was the vision that Aaron showed me. It was, and he knew exactly what he was doing. when I kept on saying, no, I don't want to, no, he said, hey, tell you what, come meet me at the office. I want to show you a couple things. And we drove to the warehouse that he had just built.
I think I was pretty slick on this one.
Yeah.
I said, well, come over. I said, because you're going to be doing, helping with the recruiting. So I was like, just come over and see the vision so you can relay it to these other people.
So you got to still sell that vision, because it's not about dollars and cents. And it can be about, maybe I'm going to take a little bit of a pay cut, but it aligns with my personal purpose better. And people like that. So you got to remember that.